If your employer gives you RSUs as part of your comp, you've got one of the most powerful financial tools available to a W-2 employee. But for most people, the question isn't whether they're valuable. It's, what do I actually do with them? When do I sell? How am I getting taxed? And how do I make sure I'm not leaving money on the table? That's exactly what we're going to walk through today. Before anything else, here's the most useful way to think about RSUs. When your shares vest, they're functionally identical to a cash bonus. The only difference is the delivery mechanism. Instead of dollars, you get company stock. So here's the question worth sitting with. If you got a cash bonus today, would you take the entire amount and put it into your company's stock? For most people, no. And yet, holding all of your vested RSUs without a plan is exactly that. Keep that framing in mind. It'll make everything that follows easier to think through. Here's what we'll cover: how vesting works, how RSUs are taxed, which is where most people get caught off guard, when to think about selling, and how to build a plan that actually connects your RSUs to your bigger financial picture. Let's start with the basics. RSUs vest, meaning they become yours, according to a schedule your employer sets. There are three main types. Time-based vesting is the most common. Your employer releases shares on a fixed schedule, often 25% after your first year, then quarterly over the next 3. This type is more straightforward to plan around because the timeline is known. Performance-based vesting means shares only unlock if specific company metrics are hit, such as revenue targets, profitability, stock price milestones. These are harder to plan around because the payout isn't guaranteed. Double-trigger RSUs are common at pre-IPO companies. Two things have to happen: a time-based vesting period and a liquidity event, like an IPO or an acquisition. Both triggers must fire, or you don't see the shares. Whatever your structure, your grant document lays it all out. That's your starting point. The tax implications are the part that catches people off guard, so pay attention here. When your RSUs vest, they're taxed as ordinary income at the fair market value of the shares on the vesting date. That income shows up on your W-2, just like your salary. It doesn't matter if you sell immediately or hold for years, the tax happens the moment the shares are released to you. Here's where the surprise comes in. Your employer withholds taxes automatically, but they use the flat federal supplemental rate, which is 22%. If your marginal rate is 32, 35, or 37%, that withholding falls short. Sometimes meaningfully short. That gap is real money you'll owe at tax time. And if you're not making estimated payments throughout the year, you can add underpayment penalties on top of it. After vesting, the rules change. Any additional gain or loss from that point is a capital gain or loss, which will be considered short-term if you hold less than a year and long-term if you hold for more. The clock starts on your vesting date. So when should you sell? This is the question we get most often, and the honest answer is that it depends on 4 things. First, concentration risk. How much of your total net worth is tied to your company's stock? Most financial planners put the ceiling at 10 to 15% for any single position. Tech employees with large RSU grants frequently find themselves well above that, sometimes without realizing it. Second, tax timing. Long-term capital gains rates are lower than ordinary income rates, 0%, 15%, or 20% depending on your income. If you can hold vested shares for more than a year, you may reduce your tax bill on any appreciation. But that potential savings has to be weighed against the risk of the stock declining while you wait. Third, your actual financial goals. Do you have a home purchase coming up, tuition to fund, or high-interest debt to pay off? Those are real near-term needs. Holding company stock instead of addressing them is an unnecessary risk. And fourth, your honest read on the company. Confidence in your employer isn't a diversification strategy. Single stocks are volatile. Even great companies have rough years. A practical approach that works well is a systematic sell strategy. Decide in advance what percentage you'll sell immediately on vesting. Diversify the proceeds and hold the rest based on your tax situation and timeline. The discipline of a predetermined rule takes emotion out of a decision that's easy to second guess. RSUs can't be managed in isolation. They're one piece of a broader financial picture, and they need to connect to the rest of it. That means thinking about your RSUs alongside your 401k contributions, any tax loss harvesting opportunities, your insurance coverage, and your short and long-term goals. These aren't separate conversations, they're the same one. One thing worth knowing: if your stock price is down when your RSUs vest, that's not necessarily bad news. A lower price at vesting means lower ordinary income recognized. which can actually be a planning advantage if the company recovers. This is exactly where having a plan ahead of time lets you act on an opportunity instead of react to a number. Quick but important note for anyone thinking about a job change: if you're considering leaving your company, don't walk away from unvested RSUs without accounting for them. That equity has real dollar value, and it's something you can use in your negotiation with a new employer. Quantify exactly what you're leaving behind, then use that number to negotiate a higher base, a signing bonus, or a new equity grant. Your total compensation package, including unvested shares, is absolutely fair game at the negotiating table. Know the number before you sit down. Here's the framework. Step 1. Understand your vesting schedule. Know exactly what type you have: time-based, performance-based, or double trigger, and when shares are coming. That's your planning timeline. Step 2. Check your withholding. If your marginal rate is above 22%, you have a gap. Cover it through estimated tax payments. Don't save the discovery for April. Step 3. Be honest about your concentration. How much of your net worth is in your company's stock right now? If the answer makes you uncomfortable, that should inform your sell strategy. Step 4. Set a sell strategy before the shares vest. Decide the rule in advance. Sell X% immediately, hold Y% for Z reason. A rules-based approach removes the temptation to make emotional decisions in the moment. 4 principles. Understand before you act. Plan for the tax gap. Watch your concentration, and decide in advance, because rules beat emotion every time. If this was helpful, there's a link in the description to the full RSU guide on our blog. It covers everything we walked through today.